I had a multi-glue, multi-step glue up in the shop this week, and I thought I'd use it to make a little PSA geared towards beginners because a bad glue up can literally make or break an entire project. So I think one of the things people don't realize about glue is I have a couple glues in the shop. I prefer Titebond 3. I also have an epoxy, emphasis on it being a slow hardener. The epoxy I got for exterior work. The Titebond 3 I have because it sets up to the lowest temperature, which in the wintertime I have heat, but sometimes it gets chilly in my shop. Also, out of all of the Titebonds, it has the longest open time, which means you have the most amount of time to assemble your piece. The epoxy I will also use in the shop if I know an assembly is going to take longer than about 10 or 15 minutes because you need that time to clamp all of the pieces. I also like to use epoxy on mortise and tenons because it's a better void filler than Titebond 3. But those are the two I have, and I use both of them on this glue up. And the other tip is to break it into multiple parts. So instead of trying to glue this entire unit together, I broke it into smaller pieces by gluing the mortise into the tenons, and then the second day I'll come back and glue the whole piece together. Cauls are going to be your best friend, especially if you don't have a lot of clamps like myself. And the cauls are just scrap pieces of wood that I'm putting on both sides of my pieces, and those are just going to help distribute the pressure that you're applying with all of those clamps across the piece. So the cauls on the bottom, it's a slat of wood on either side clamped together. It kept all of my vertical pieces on the same plane. Then the next day, I'm going to downgrade to Titebond 3. It's less expensive than epoxy, and I don't need epoxy for edge-to-edge joinery. This is a glue up I could get done in less than 10 minutes. This time I'm going to be putting cauls on the top side to keep all of my slats on the same plane. Also cauls on the bottom to keep all of my pieces on the same plane and apply even clamping pressure. And that is going to be kind of what it looks like. So just a couple tips, especially for beginners, on how to have some successful glue ups.